is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
It's time to get real. Get real. Talking about the things you wanna hear. It's time to get real. Get real. We got it all right here. It's time to get real. Get real. Better buckle up, get set. It's time to get real. Get real. We got it all right here. Come on.
Nako, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat at magandang gabi dito naman sa New York City, and of course magandang hapon dyan sa aming family, PHLV family dyan sa Las Vegas. I hope everybody is doing well. Medyo nag-a-adjust pa rin ako sa timing because I think yung timing natin dito sa New York versus sa Philippines ay nag-adjust ng 1 hour. But just the same, I hope everyone is doing well dyan sa Philippines. Medyo nag-loosen up na ng konti sa Metro Manila, alert level 2. At naka-receive din ako ng notice. In fact, na the President actually already approved voluntary use of face shields sa mga cities or sa mga lugar na ka-alert level 2 and 3. I hope kahit na ganun we still get ourselves protected, by wearing face mask. And of course, if you already got hold of VPRO Aerosol, that is an added layer of protection for the virus that is happening right now. Sana naman makatulong siya. By the way, get well soon to aking friend na si Mr. Richard Reynoso. Sana maging okay ka na, kapatid. Today is very special, of course. After being friends with my special guest for a long time, very ironic kasi na-meet ko siya sa isang parade. Philippine Independence Day Parade kung saan naging escort siya ng aming Miss Republic of the Philippines, dati na si Excelsa. And I'm really very grateful and honored to have here with us, of course, Kapita-Pitagan, very honorable. Ako talagang saludo ko sa kanya dahil the service that he is continue to give, the whole of New York City. Hindi ko na patatagalin, 'di ba? Ang poging-pogi, 'di ba? Detective Ronald. Ayan, nandiyan na siya. Hello, sir. Magandang
Hello, kamusta,
gabi.
Jeanette? Kamusta po kayo?
Okay naman. Maraming salamat sa pagpapaunlak mo sa akin, kapatid. Kamusta ka naman? Bati ka naman sa you're being watched all over the Philippines and of course all over the United States at sa buong mundo. Bati ka?
Binabati ko ang mga kapwa Pilipino natin dyan sa Pilipinas, sa mga kapatid at mga kamag-anak ko. Marami pa ang kapatid dyan. At stay safe and healthy.
Ayan. Napakatipid ni Detective Roland Carlos Juan. Actually, guys, hindi po siya Spanish. Isa siyang full-blooded Filipino. Kapatid, for the benefit of those sa mga nanonood na nakatunin ngayon na si Miss Eileen, si Miss Gladys, at si Mami Ravenanaya. mga kakilala mo na yata yan. At si Miss Abby Juan, ito yata ang iyong other half. Ikaw ba ay isang Filipino na born and raised sa Philippines tapos nag-migrate dito sa Philippines, sa New York?
I was born and raised sa Bikutan. I was 16 nung nag-migrate kami dito. Actually, yung before I was even born, yung kapatid ng papa ko was pinitisyonan niya na kami to come here. Si Uncle June. So, shout out to Uncle June. Thank you po sa pagpetisyon sa papa at nakasama mo.
At nandito ka na. Sir Ronald, nung nag-migrate ka at the age of 16, kasama mo buong pamilya mo?
Mama and papa lang. Tatlo lang po kami. Kasi ako lang ho yung 16 na may age limit di ba? 21 hindi na pwede ngayon. I think 21 or under 18.
And you've always lived in New York City.
Yes.
Ayan, ayan. Para sa benefit ng iba, isa pong part ng NYPD, si Sir Ronald. Nakaka-proud kasi bihira ako talagang makakita ng Fil-Am na part ng kapulisan. How is it growing in the United States at the age of 16 and of course, going to school, tas Pinoy and all that? How was your childhood? Teenage life, sabihin ko pa.
Teenage life dito sa States. Actually, nung nagpunta ako dito, wala talaga akong idea what state is all about, what's in store for me here. And as in, I was clueless, I didn't want to leave the Philippines before. Pero yung nagkatrabaho ko, I found a job maybe 3 months after, when we got here. Kaya,
what was your first job?
First job, parang helper sa flower shop.
Wow!
And then I was
how did you even get to become a helper sa flower shop?
It was through a Filipino agency. Na my parents applied me, and I worked there for like 4 or 5 years, I think.
Uy, matagal din yun. As a teen.
Manhattan, actually, which is very enjoyable,
Talaga? You find it
Yeah.
enjoyable? Pero
Yeah.
kumusta yung pag-aaral mo at that time? So you're going to school at the same time, nagtatrabaho ka sa paano yung adjustment mo noon as a teenager?
Actually, my cousin here, his name is Emmanuel. He actually helped me out a lot. Tinulungan niya ako mag-test ng SAT, ACT, and then I went to college. And then at the same time, I was also working part-time after when I applied for college. I kept my job.
Wow! And then
I enjoyed it.
Na-enjoy mo? Bakit? Tanong ko for a guy, to be in a floral shop, diba? Bakit na-enjoy mo siya?
I think I was actually an artist by talaga eh. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I did sa college, fine arts. And I also delivered sa Manhattan, throughout Manhattan. So I got to know the city a lot, diba? So it was good.
So medyo nawala na yung pagkaanaw mo ng pag-migrate sa New York dahil you left friends behind. And how was your process? Naghanap ka ba ng Filipino community dahil sabay-sabay kayo ng parents mo nag-migrate Or na-embrace mo na yung kung sino yung mga maging friends mo along the way?
We actually, may church kami na pinuntahan nung nandito kami. It was my uncle's church. It's called QCAC, Queens Christian Alliance Church. So
I see.
White Bridge, it's right there.
And maraming mga Filipino members doon.
Marami actually. They have a Filipino service, and they have the American service. May Filipino pastor.
I see, I got it. Poging-pogi ka daw. Tito namin yan, sabi ni Natalie Fong at ni Sarah Baclagan. Poging-pogi ka daw. Masyado pong mahihain.
Pinanood kasi yata asawa ko yun.
Siyempre naman, nakaka-proud naman yun na mapanood ka dito sa Get Real for the first time. So pag-usapan natin ngayon.
For having me, it's a pleasure. Yeah.
Siyempre. Ang dami mo na ngayon fans, so wow, ang gwapo naman niya. Kung nababasa mo yung monitor ng live. So anyway, Sir Ronald, college fine arts. And then how did you actually ended up as a detective sa NYPD?
Actually, yung nag-college ako, something really inside me. I've always also wanted to join the military. So I joined at the time.
How old were you then?
I was 21 years old.
Wow, medyo ano na rin nasa ano ka na, nasa legal age ka na nung time na
Yeah.
yun when you joined it. So, did you actually get support from your parents, or your parents thought at that time that it's pretty dangerous to be in the service?
But at the time, they really didn't. Of course, as a parent, you don't want your kids, especially just right after 9/11 happened. I joined,
Oh,
so
wow.
they didn't want me to go. But it was something I felt like God was drawing me to.
To the
Um,
service.
so
So how long was the training, and how tough or rigorous was the training to get in as a New York police? Kasi meron akong impression ng NYPD eh. Talagang i-compare ko siya sa kapulisan natin sa Pilipinas. Ang impression ko talaga sa NYPD eh, mga men in uniform na hindi mo pwedeng suhulan, hindi mo pwedeng bastusin, at hindi mo pwedeng i-violate, no? So, if you were to think, you have practically an idea sa kapulisan natin doon sa Pilipinas, and dito nung nag-training ka, how difficult or tough was it during your training, and how long was it?
it's the training was 6 months for to become a New York City police officer here, and more academics than physical, really. So we had to study a lot about the law, what you can't do, stuff like that. So you're not violating anyone's rights. So it was okay, I think, but it's something that if you want to do for the rest, parang it's a calling, I think. I feel like, if you want to stay with it, because a lot of people that joined with me now, they quit right after graduation. And after 5 months, 6 months in the forest, they just like, I'm out of here, it's not for me.
Ganon talaga siya. So it's more of a passion or a calling rather than a profession. Dahil ganon talaga siya kahirap. So 6 months, and right after 6 months, gaano kadaming Filipino or Asian at least na nasa serbisyo, at least dito sa New York?
Na nakita ko throughout that time?
Oo.
Actually, wala akong nakita eh.
So nag-iisa ka lang talaga?
No, there's a lot, but there's as far as percentage, very few, maybe 1% or less Filipinos. Yeah.
So, my God, I could not imagine. So, papaano mo in-adjust yung sarili mo in a place? Though, of course, medyo matagal ka na nasa New York from 16 to 21, 5 years, well-adjusted ka na pretty much. And then mixing, in the service with different kinds of nationality. But I think majority are, Americans, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Actually, New York is very diverse, it's contrary to what they show, like, NYPD Blues, this and that. We have different, actually from other countries coming, like, they're just like, parang ako rin, they're immigrants, and then, look, I want to join the NYPD, and there's a lot of immigrants within the NYPD. It's very diverse, super diverse. Sa precinct alone, there's, a lot of them are born in the States, but also a lot of them are from other countries like myself, diba? So, probably sa precinct ko sa South Bronx before, maybe, I would say, maybe 10% white and the rest is just mix of different races.
10%.
Maybe.
10%. Wow.
It's very diverse, man. It's, I think pretty much just as far as New York City, diba? I think that's what I like about this place.
The melting pot, yeah.
It's a melting pot.
It's the melting pot of the whole world. So, Sir Ronald, what was the most difficult thing that you've actually encountered while you are at the service?
the most difficult thing na encounter ko I think nung may isa akong job noon na involving a child pretty much. So I think that's all our weaknesses, diba? You can see like a dead body anywhere, you'll be fine. But if you see a child hurt, I think that's something that will stick, sa'yo, diba?
Oo.
So I did this job and pretty much sabi, there's an aided inside the apartment. So I go in the apartment, like knock on the door, and no one answers the door. It's like, oh, I call them ready to go. Where's the aided? Where's the caller? Upstairs. So I guess the little girl went up, pumunta siya sa taas. So I went up on the top of on the next door, on the next floor up, because it's a housing apartment, a housing building. And I knock on the door, and this little girl opens the door, and she's all like stabbed up, maybe 8, 9 times.
Oh my God.
The first thing she said to me is like, "Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die?" And I'm like, I was like, "No, sweetie, you're not gonna die. We'll take care of you." And you know what? We took her downstairs to the ambulance, and it was a mess. But that's I still can't. I tend to forget a lot of things, but that thing really still in my mind, and that's really something that you will never forget.
So sa mga tao na kagaya nyo na nasa service and then you encounter horrible situations that will really stick into your head, especially kagaya niyan, bata, 'di ba? How do you overcome that? Kasi kung ako yan, makakita yan sa palagay ko hanggang sa panaginip ko, maano ko yan, maiisip ko yan or mapapanaginipan ko. But I know you also have trainings, pero ikaw personally, how did you overcome that?
Personally, prayer, God. Second, sense of humor, pretty much. Especially in this job, you need sense of humor, really. So.
Tama. Sir Ronald.
That's a good point.
How do you think it would be different as far as PNP, Philippine National Police, and New York Police?
It's different because kasi different culture nga, di ba? Pero I give it to them because it's we have experience here as far as being police officer, but I have friends who I was actually, when I was in the military, may kaibigan ako na dati siyang police.
Mm-hmm. Sa Pilipinas.
Sa Pilipinas. And he joined the military. And kinukwento niya sa akin na police ako dati doon, and then they actually have experience in they send him to they send him to Mindanao, and you know how it is down there back then, and he get into rules magulo daw. So it's in that they're very I give it to them. They're very experienced and they're brave men over there, and salamat kay Duterte that they gave them a raise, and they deserve that.
Right. Actually, ang kapulisan natin, in my opinion, kasi I've seen and I've worked with a couple of departments doon sa Philippines. It's getting there. It's shaping up, kasi napakadaming mga katiwalian. Hindi naman natin talaga maiaalis, 'di ba? Pero napakalaganap noon time na yun. But then, as we move along, it's beginning to shape up, and then from weight loss, di ba? Kasi palagi nasasabi na daming mga kapulisan na matataba, paano tatakbo, and all that. Continuous din ba yung training mo or yung education mo? Kasi you mentioned that it is more on academe, rather than physical training. Continuous pa rin ba yun sa ngayon since you started until now to rise up the ranks?
Yes, if you want to get promoted to like sergeants and lieutenants, you want to be a sergeant or lieutenant, you have to take the test, and you have to study for it. And mahirap. Actually, it's a 6-month study course they have they offer. So by the time they announce the class, 6 months after that, then they'll the test will come. So it's a 6-month window that you have, and
Right.
that's pretty
To
much.
to prepare for
Prepare.
for that promotion. Sir, hindi natin maiaalis, no, because you go as a detective, or when you go out on a mission, or there's something that you have rescued, or I'm pretty sure meron din dyan nagagalit sa'yo. Hindi ka ba
Opo.
natatakot para sa pamilya mo?
Hindi naman po kasi usually hindi nila kami pinapa work within the same precinct. Pero New York is so small, no? You never know.
Right.
Yeah, pero my work now as a detective is a different kind of detective. We're like detective specialists in a way, because I'm assigned to emergency service unit. It's not really it's like the simplest way to explain it, parang the SWAT team of NYPD in a way. So,
parang pinaliwanag mo siya ng madali yung trabaho. Parang ganun na lang. Pero alam naman natin yung SWAT team, Diyos ko naman, diba? Parang, well, I used to watch it only in Hollywood movies, how they are in doing, their raids and paano. Tapos nung ako mismo makakita how it's being done, diba? Parang natakot ako. But then, mas ka ba ngayon, maingat ka ngayon sa edad mo na to, or mas aggressive ka ngayon because through experience?
I think mas maingat ngayon through experience, actually. and say that, of course.
Ayan, kasama na yan ngayon.
Been on the job 15 years now, and I've kind of seen a lot. Not I wouldn't say I'm that experienced, pero I've seen enough to be more careful, kasi may mga co-workers din akong, alam mo yun, yung mga pumanaw, may
Yes. Syempre, di ba? So, how is your wife adjusting to everyday job mo, pag hindi ka nakakarating on time, or hindi ka nakakatawag, or anything? Kasi I would imagine myself, for example, I'm married to a police officer and he doesn't get home on time. Parang makakapraning din yon. But how is your wife taking it so far?
Actually, that's a big thing, because the schedule is not set. Alam mo yun, minsan before, I wouldn't go home for like 2-3 days kasi you have to do overtime, and sa upstate kami nakatira dati, New York. So it's far. So we moved back to the city, sa Bronx. But she's used to it now, so she knows the nature of the job.
Sanay na siya. Ako, parang hindi yata ako parang ang hirap yatang masanay sa ganun, when in fact alam mo that your life is always, at stake, or it's always down the line whenever, you go out. The moment you step in, actually, hindi lang kasi pag nag-duty ka, the moment you step out of your house and you see something, lalo-lalo na ngayon,
Yeah.
diba, sa New York City. Sir Ronald, tinanong ko, what was the most difficult thing? What was about your job that you so love about?
Actually, when I was sa patrol pa ako dati, I love responding to I wouldn't say, sabihin ko, mga people who ask, we call it how do I say this in a more parang because I worked in housing developments, and I used to respond to a lot of domestic incidents. And you go there and you kind of because they call you because they're at the end of the ropes, pretty much. You see people at their worst, when you're there. So I love helping them. I love figuring out how to help them, especially when I see younger kids. I always talk to them. Listen, what do you want to do when you grow up? This and that. Encourage them. This and that. And I think that's what I like the most, responding to jobs like that and just helping them out, all the way. And because we respond and we have my mga resources kami na that we can refer them to, like different resources, family court.
Right. But let's talk about Asian hate right now na sobrang laganap na ngayon dito sa atin sa New York City, and a lot of our kababayans have died and had been victimized. To name a few, nandiyan dyan si Putri Manikis, if you're familiar, kasi inano na ng Philippine Consulate natin na humingi tayo ng tulong and justice, and kay si Miguel Braganza, and then lately yung nurse na namatay sa Times Square.
Yes.
How do you feel about it, and then how do you actually participate in the campaign and stopping Asian hate?
That's a good question. Asian hate is I think it's lately lang yan na biglang parang umangat because of COVID mostly. That's when it came about. And I haven't seen it personally, but my friends are aware. All my friends at work, they know what's going on. And they do support, of course they're against that kind of stuff. But it's just try to be aware that I tell them, these are incidents that mostly from what I've seen so far in videos, diba, mga emotionally disturbed people, they're not right in their mind when they do this, and I mean, you could be Asian or black or white, that if you treat a person like that, or however you treat a person, if you treat a person badly, there's something wrong with you, pretty much. So from what I see, pretty much it's out there, but I think it's still growing, and we definitely should, ang tawag nito, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
We definitely should. Well, alam mo,
Do something
something positive, right? Madaming campaigns on Asian hate. Ako for once medyo nakaano ako niyan at a time sa Chinatown nung pagbalik ko nitong COVID after nung trip ko sa Philippines. Hindi ka ba natatakot para sa pamilya mo kasi you cannot be with them din naman 24/7?
You're right. That's actually a very good question, I do have faith in God, and that's my main. I 100% depend upon Him. My safety at work, my family, my kids, and if anything bad should happen, God forbid, to me, and that's how we deal with things. He allows certain things to happen in our lives, diba? But that doesn't mean He did it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
God allowed certain things for us to grow, to learn, and that's my prayer every day. And me and my kids, we have when I'm home at night, and my wife, they have like a ang tawag nito, like a devotion every night. Always pray for safety, always pray for God's guidance, always pray for your family members and this and that. So pretty much,
so talagang yun talaga ang kinakapitan mo while on the job, on a daily basis. Talagang because of God has to take care of everyone, especially your family. But how do you keep a balance? Sabi mo kanina, minsan 2 to 3 days hindi ka nakakauwi. How do you keep a balance between your family life and your profession right now as a police officer?
It's the same. Actually, it's a very demanding job, and a lot of, actually, I wouldn't say 50%, but close to that. The department, those are like have family problems, divorce, or whatever it may be, because it really is a demanding job. Sometimes people stay for may mga time na I see people stay for a week because
Wow.
they work round the clock. It's on a busy season sa mga kunyari mga US Open, stuff like that, because we have to keep the area safe. And you know, we really don't have that much manpower, so people are like, you know what, you need to work, boom boom boom. So that's like a week, you know, week and a half, 2 weeks. The United Nations were also there, you know, we secure the area, this and that. Those are busy times, and I see people staying in the precinct for 5 days, 3 days, and it's like I said, it's a demanding job. So in our family, our foundation is Christ, really, and that's what we hold on to. You know?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sige, sorry. It's okay.
So yun lang that's where we draw our strength, our trust with each other. It's not. It's you know, that doesn't mean it's gonna be easy. It's still hard. Just like, you know, I experienced yung kung ano man ang na-experience ng iba, it's the same thing.
Nagkataon lang yung trabaho mo nasa service ka. Yung balance medyo mahirap, 'di ba, i-adjust, especially ngayon. How many kids do you have, by the way?
2 kids, sa 9 and 12.
9 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Masasabi mo ba when you started 15 years back and then ngayon, being in the service sa New York City, masasabi mo ba na ang crime rate natin dati at ang crime rate ngayon ay mas mababa o mas mataas?
Yung unang pasok ko, mas mataas na. Mas mababa ngayon.
What drove it to go down? Ano ang naging dahilan nun? Mas natakot ba ang mga tao or nagkaroon ng fear, or mas naging disiplinado ba tayo or mga New Yorkers nowadays?
I think it's just, it's just my opinion, no. It's not based on any facts or anything. I think it's just time goes, people change, different generation, different times, and because back then, maraming drugs. There's still maraming drugs still, but there was a study in the FBI. If people are going to do crime, they're going to commit a crime. You can't stop them, cops or not. I mean, it helps that we're there as far as police presence, but but they're going to commit. Excuse me. They're going to commit the crime that they want to commit.
So it's okay. So talaga siya? Well, just like anywhere, 'di ba? Talagang
yes.
Maaano mo na talagang akyat, taas baba ang crime rates.
Yeah.
But what about during the pandemic? How was it? Bumaba ba siya o mas lalong nagkaroon ng mas mataas na crime rate?
From what I've seen, it's yung lang from my precinct alone. I'm not the entire New York City, no. Bumaba naman siya ng konti. Because as people are staying inside and they kind of, especially in the heights of COVID, no. Like last year, walang tao sa labas. Have you ever been assigned outside of New York City?
Nandito
No.
ka lang talaga.
Yes.
So, if given the chance, okay, bago ko batuhin tong next question sa iyo, Juan, papapahingayin kita kasi bati tayo kasi ang dami naman nanonood sa iyo. Kung makikita mo dyan, baka gusto mo din akong tulungan. Si Lolit Drilon, love watching from Davao City. Sarah Baclagon. Ayan. Pero i-reduce mo lang ng konti yung volume mo sa para hindi mag-feedback. Si Sis Feli, of course. Si Mr. Tyler Duratim. I think your mom is here.
Yes, yes.
Di ba? Si Miss Gladys
Oh.
Perlinghi and Judith Kitan. Oh, watching from Davao. May ano ka ba? Mom or dad from Davao? Or
Si Mami sa Cebu, si Papa sa Manila.
so, Evelyn San Juan, sabi ni Mami, my son. He's very proud. Now, I know you must have made your parents really very proud, and of course, your wife and your two children. But so far, as a police officer, being in the service for 15 years, what are you proud of yourself as a man in uniform?
What am I proud of as far as my achievements or as far as my in general?
In general.
I think I'm proud of, but I didn't see this at first, but I'm proud of what we do as far as, because maraming taong hindi nakakakita is how we serve the community, how we help them out. They only see the bad as far as the media, is showing them to people. They
Right.
don't see us helping, men and women, helping them out when they're in the rubble. I've, responded to people that are about to jump off the bridge, about to kill themselves, those things. And we don't just, hindi lang namin sila, we talk to them like, like a
brother.
like a human being,
Right.
How if you encounter a police sa city, try to talk to them. They're just like you. It's same as anyone else, But sometimes, because also police officers are very, I'm just keep rambling here. Ano ba yung question?
Okay na,
They're-
sige, go ahead.
they're very,
Gusto naman
We respond. You have to understand. Maybe sometimes, like I said, we're just like everyone else. Maybe they're having a bad day too, diba? So
Totoo.
you have to think about it. We only respond to stressful situations. We don't respond to a party. Like they don't call us, oh, we're having a party, come over. No.
It's always the red code, palaging
Yeah.
emergency lagi na
So
tinatawag.
everything is fast, quick, and violent, and yelling, screaming stuff when you respond to these jobs. So,
Oh.
those are the things that we go through. And I just been to this training, a couple of weeks ago. The guy, it's called mental health training. We go through a lot of trainings, and ito yung mga isang training na pinuntahan ko last week. The guy said 7 to 8 NYPD police officers, retired police officers, 7 to 8 a month commit suicide. So
Oh, wow.
that's how we have that training, because to let us know, hey, this is a stressful job. Don't let it get into you. You have to find a way out. You have to find a way, like an exit. To let that stress out, stuff like that. So, like I don't mean to. I know this should be an inspiring thing. No?
It's okay. Because we also want to understand. Ako kasi, nakikita ko lang, nakakaroon lang ako ng interaction. Before, when I had a cafe by the Lower East Side sa Manhattan, we have Monday Blues. So every Monday, anybody who is
Wow.
in uniform will get a free cup of coffee just to thank them practically for the service that they are giving to the community. Kasi malapit yung malaking istasyon doon sa amin sa Lower East Side. And it makes us, it makes us safe when we see two things para sa akin. Pag nakakita ako ng police, there's something wrong. What's happening? Or it makes you feel safe. Totoo ka naman na tao din naman sila. Kasi dati, of course, ako, galing from the Philippines, diba? Tapos pumunta dito, medyo matanda na ako. Iba ang idea ko, ang mindset ko when it comes to, men in uniform. So when you start talking to them, they're really nice, and talagang talagang they'll help you and they'll assist you. Huwag ka nga lang mag-overspeeding. Medyo talagang hahabulin ka. But then, one, I'm pretty sure, ayan, si Daddy Ben Obarjuan, nandiyan dyan. My son was Iraq veteran war before becoming NYPD. Oh, ayan. Pag-usapan natin yung veteran war. My God. Hindi ko alam na, na isa pala yan sa Hindi ko hiningi kasi yung bio mo kasi gusto ko talagang i-unfold ikaw as an officer and yung journey mo, until becoming where you are right now. So how was that? Share mo naman sa amin ng konti yung Iraq veteran war experience mo.
Konti lang. I was deployed there. Like I said, after 9/11, I joined, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the first wave of they call it the invasion. Pero I was there for like 6 months, and then I went back. I went back again for 2 months, and that was it, pretty much. But spent 8 months there sa Iraq. It was very, as a young guy, ilan taon ba ako na, mga 23.
Wow.
Well, different world, different, I don't want to say I had fun, but it was an experience.
It was an experience.
War is ugly, and
It is.
A lot of people talk about, let's go to war against, USA is gonna kick the blah blah blah. You don't want that because with war
it's bloody and ugly.
Yeah.
Oo.
Comes all these you gotta involve the civilians. There's we saw civilians, kids, blooded kids, running out of the Baghdad, yelling and screaming, help us, help us. And you know what? Those are the casualties that you have in war. Not just soldiers against soldiers. You're involving everyone in that country. So, in a way, I like. I'm not saying, I'm against anti-war, whatever. If we have to defend ourselves, we will.
Exactly.
If we can,
if we can resolve everything,
and through talking to other countries, peace and this and that, let that be so. No, hindi we're gonna bomb you if you do this, that. It's easy to say, but once you see it happen,
once you're there. Iba din siguro, I'm pretty sure. If we can resolve into a more peaceful process, kasi we've seen the fall of the last war na ito na experience ng mundo, and we welcome refugees here in the United States. Talaga namang kawawa. And I'm pretty sure, along with the rest of your family, Lolit Drilon and Pinky Juan, who's really very proud of you, of becoming a real good father to his kids and a good husband to Abigail, diba? Napaproud sila. But let me ask you, given the choice to choose another profession, would you still want to be a police officer, or would you rather practice becoming an architect or anything? Kasi arts din, isa din sa mga passion.
If I was given another choice, I think I always say if I could go back, I mean, things happen for a reason. I don't want to. What happened, and that's who what I am because of the past. So what happened? Pero if there was such a thing, I would probably just stay in the military and do
wow, do the same thing that you're doing right now.
I love the military.
Naman yan, nakaka-proud naman yan. Family might not always tell this to you or express gratitude and love all the time. Pero I think sa nakikita kong mga comments, napaka-close-knit yung family nyo. From Pinky San Juan, may message lang siya. That's my brother. Very proud of him. Not just a good police officer, but a great father to his kids and a good husband to her sister-in-law. And Barlene Lake, of course, greatest brother. And ang dami pa, mababasa mo yan. Nakakaiyak, di ba?
Binod kasi ata ni Abby.
Paul Christian Juan Fong, Blue Lives Matter, of course. And I would like to actually give it to your parents, for raising a person like you, for raising a good son. Kasi syempre, ang foundation started, when your uncle and your parents had brought you to put God as a in the center of your lives, and up until now, yan talaga ang kinakapitan mo while doing the job. Juan, if there is anything that you would like to say to your family or to your parents, now is the time to broadcast it dito sa sa Get Real.
I think what I admire about them is they're hard workers. I think I work as hard as I can because of them. I when I was yung bata ako, they leave the house 5, 7 a.m., come back maybe 8 at night, 9 sometimes. And my dad was a merchant marine. He was a seaman sa Pilipinas. I think for Japan back then. He was gone maybe 3, 4, 6 months at a time. But they've always worked hard. And I think that's the trait na nakuha ko sa kanila na, and it's always in me, I always say, if someone's working, don't just stand around, help that person out, I'm always working, but when I'm at home, I'm sitting down watching TV, so.
I'm pretty sure. And I saw your Facebook page, an advertisement calling or encouraging people to be part of the service. There are a lot of people watching right now. Of course, nandiyan din yung mga super friends natin, Mr. Tyler Durathim, Ravenna Naya, and din si Divine. Could you tell us what are the requirements or how it is to become a police officer, to be in the service?
First you have to have 60 college credits muna, or 3 years in the military at least, and of course you have to be a U.S. citizen for that. And I think those are the main requirements, and of course, good record, history record,
No criminal. No criminal record.
But I mean that they, misdemeanors are, they look into it. Just because you've been arrested, you got arrested, that doesn't mean they reject you right away. They're gonna say like, oh, why did you get arrested? Let's look at that. They're not just
the gravity of the case, diba? Juan, let us set a message. Let us send a message out there now. You talking as a police officer of New York Police Department.
A message. What kind of message?
Any message that you would want to tell people, you as a police officer.
Like I said before, police officers it's a profession, it's a passion, it's a calling, right? And we're just the same as like nurses and doctors and delivery guys, guys who work at McDonald's. Same, we're all human beings. Talk to us when you see one. Approach them, say hi, how are you? Where do you live? Where you from? You'll find that there will be very nice people. And just like every profession, there are bad guys. Not all cops are good. Not all doctors are good. Not all nurses. Everyone, every profession, because why? Because we're humans and we are bound to just make mistakes, and some are just bad and some are good. And so when you see sa Facebook or YouTube videos like, oh, this cop this cop that. He's abusing this one's rights and this and that. You know what? The cop, yeah, he's bad. But not all cops. Don't just because you see that one person or that one police officer doing something bad, that doesn't mean all cops are bad. You know what? I've met other police officers in around the nation, right, and other states and also other countries. And New York City police officers are very professional. I mean, the training that they get, and just the diversity. They understand. We're all immigrants. You know what I'm saying? They are very professional, and like I said, but not all of them are good. Not every profession. In every profession, there are bad apples, right?
Right.
So,
of course.
Give us that grace, right?
Give us. Well, all lives matter, all lives matter, as we know. Juan, I would like to actually congratulate you for doing a very, very good job in taking care of the entire community of New York, and of course for risking your own life. Every day is always a risk for you and your family. But thank you. Is a big word that we wanted to tell you. You representing NYPD. We thank you for the service, and we thank you for risking your life to save us. Maraming salamat sa pagdalo mo sa aking programa ngayong gabi. At kung meron ka pang huling panawagan or meron ka pang gustong batiin mo na, baka magalit si
Actually, salamat ako sa iyo as your successful channel. Thank you. Your hard work really shows, and salamat. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, Also, thank you sa mga nanonood. Hindi ko alam na maraming nanonood kasi Abby, I guess she broadcast, but thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something. And like what this is about, is to inspire people. I hope you're inspired by at least my story, how as an immigrant kid came here, and God blessed me, thank God for this country. Through this country, He blessed me, and I guess that's that, So be inspired. Thank you for having your channel. It's such a good channel here.
All right. Maraming salamat, Juan. On behalf of the entire PHLV family and of course Get Real TV, we wish you well. We always pray for your safety, that you are able to save more lives along the way up until you retire. Balitaan mo ko pag general ka na.
Sana, no?
And I'll have you back. I am sure with God beside you and with God always guiding you, you'll be protected, and you'll be able to do whatever it is as a mission. I think that your life is a purpose-driven life right now, because you're not living only for yourself, but you're living for the entire community of New York. Thank you. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, and maraming salamat ulit.
Ayan. That is a Fil-Am police officer ng New York Police Department. Nakaka-proud naman talaga. At bago ako mag-closing sa aking show, nais kong magpasalamat sa aking mga super friends na patuloy na umaagapay at sumusuporta sa aming show. Of course, ang mga supporters, of course, ng PHLV Radio, nandiyan si Sis Divine, and si Miss Feli, and of course si Sir Johan. And happy birthday to Miss Josie Harrison. Hindi ko i-close yung episode ko without greeting her. Tita Josie, may God bless you and take care of you. Wishing you, good health and long life. Thank you din sa aking kapartner na si Mr. Tyler Durathem for always tuning in and for sharing our episodes, ang aking Lodi ng Bayan family. At ang aking mga super friends, si Linsky, si Mami Ravenna Naya, si Annalie Gandesa, palagi yan sila nakatune in. And of course, advance happy birthday to Mr. Ronald Juan on December 4. O, diba? In-announce ko na, papakain si Sir Ronald sa kanyang bahay. But just the same, thank you so much. All you have to do is to be yourself and live the story that no one else can live. The story for your own unique life. Be proud, be confident, and most of all, be happy. It has been a wonderful evening. This is Jeanette Marco with Detective Ronald Juan reporting for Get Real TV on PHLV Radio. Enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.
Just like a friend from back home. This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.